Through advanced physics, we can arrive at the assumption of infinite parallel universes. Every conceivable scenario occurs, that is occurring. Any universe, with any structure, with any laws or forces, with any composition, meaning the configuration of matter, energy, etc., simply has to exist. At the moment, I have no interest in delving into a discussion of the science that leads up to this idea. But what interests me is that the idea of infinite parallel universes is a great springboard for philosophical fascination. We can use active imagination to perform so-called thought experiments or conscious daydreams set in a universe other than our own, or involving multiple universes. On a conscious level, I have been heavily interested in my anima concept for the past 3 or 4 years. The anima can be thought of essentially as a man's repressed femininity. Then the animus would be a woman's repressed masculinity. Many experience the anima or animus archetype as a contrasexual mirror of themselves, or rather as their ideal mate, their dream girl, or their prince charming. For most, the conscious mind is not particularly aware of the personal archetypes which characteristically exist, mostly in the subconscious regions. Through various methods, including lucidity during dream consciousness, deep meditative contemplation, psychedelic journeying, etc., one can bring any archetype into focus for the conscious mind. The anima, when detected by the conscious mind, has a rather autonomous quality. My anima concept became autonomous and concrete enough to have told me her name, which we'll say is Jane here. Her and I, meaning my normal persona, I suppose, my normal persona, begin to commune so regularly and intimately that she became more real, so to speak, than actual people. It was an interest in pushing the boundaries of intimacy that led me to begin the exploration of my anima. The idea was essentially to meet her, court her, and marry her. This internal marriage seemed to me some distant, wondrous, almost unattainable goal. However, I simply had to pursue it because I found it impossible to have a romantic relationship with a woman because of my tendency to project my anima, whom she is not, onto the woman. Eventually, Jane and I were in a very solid, committed relationship that transcended intimacy as I had known it. Since she, as one of my personal archetypes, did not have a physical body, she seemed to use various physical vehicles to encounter me. Say I meet a girl called Molly, and I sleep with her, and the experience is beautiful and intimate and perfect. To me, the experience is something I share with Jane as much as, or more so, than with Molly. Now say I wake up alone in my bed the next morning and notice that Molly stole my wallet and silverware on her way out. Then I call her and the number she gave me is fake. Well, to me, this experience is something I share with Molly because Jane would never do anything to hurt me. Jane is defined in such a way that she does not hurt me because she always loves me deeply. Clever folks in the audience may guess that I, before becoming so interested in my anima concept, had been in a relationship with someone who was abusive and hurtful. These clever folks would be correct. So then, in a sense, Jane functions as an impenetrable defense mechanism that allows me to be involved in the vulnerable intimacy of love with no real risk of getting hurt. But let me make it clear that I'm using myself as a psychonautic guinea pig in a way that's potentially very dangerous. So I don't mean to recommend anything. but simply to report and just to report my observation and experience. One day, I was lying down in our universe, Universe A, on my bed, contemplating Jane and the anima concept in general. Suddenly, the idea of a possibility of a parallel Universe B, where everyone from Universe A's anima or animus concept was a real concrete person. These people in this parallel Universe B then would have an animus or anima concept that were us, as we are in Universe A, though we wouldn't exist in a physical form in Universe B. So in Universe B, Jane must have been laying down on her bed contemplating Jamie and the animus concept in general. So instantly, both of us were thinking we were thinking of each other at the same time. So my thoughts spiraled out like the Fibonacci sequence. I'm thinking of Jane, thus Jane is thinking of me. Thus we both know that we are thinking about each other. There was this connection between universes that had seemed to be irreparably separate from one another. For a moment I wanted to grasp at the connection. Then it became clear that she was wanting to grasp in the same way. That is, it became clear that once we had that first shared thought, we were connected forever, to the extent that she is recording this same video that I'm recording right now. But with certain names and pronouns, names and pronouns moved about to fit Universe B. There was also a moment of fear that if we didn't break away from one another, we might both disappear or switch universes. Because of this, we didn't hold hands immediately. Then I guess we just said fuck it and decided to kiss. And we stayed in our respective universes for the same reason that one doesn't fall into Wonderland when they lean upon a mirror. Put another way, we actually did switch places. If you saw us switch again right there, you're understanding what happened to me. We ask that you don't try to pick our logic apart in a reductionist manner, because to do so would be to miss the entire point. This thing that happened, that I've described here, it was something true, true with a capital T. I wanted to share this simply because it was a beautiful experience for me. Hopefully no one agrees or disagrees with me, because I'm just telling a story, not making a point. I've gotten a lot out of thought experiments in the past, but this is the first time I've ever ended up married to myself in a parallel universe.